This is your astrologer Shyam from Atma Shuddhi Astrology, and today I'm going to talk to you about like a very important global event, which is the riots in Indonesia. You must have been watching the media. Like there is a lot of protest, a lot of tantrums. The unrest is going on throughout the country. Jakarta is going through very tough times. Like there was also a history of a similar kind of an event around the time like 1998. But then this is yet another, the crisis that the whole country, has been going through in the recent past. And the very reason of this protest is, say for example, the people of Indonesia are going through a very rough patch in their life. Like they don't have a proper economic condition, career, or kind of good resources to have a very standard and beautiful living. Nothing of that sort. They've always been struggling with a lot of basic amenities and things in their life. The fundamentals in their lives have been given sacrifice by the politicians. So on the one front, the people of the Indonesian country are going through a rough patch, and the reason for the protest is people would always expect the government to react to such a kind of a situation for bringing up solutions, more employment, economic reforms, a more standardized living for each and everyone. So that's the kind of expectation that people will always have through rough times or such a scenario when it exists. But then on the contrary, what happened was the House of Representatives, who are the top-notch, the elite class politicians and rich people, they already they are all paid in a very hefty amount for their roles to safeguard the people of the country. But then the thing is, they approved another hefty allowance of $3,000, which is equivalent to 50 million Indonesian rupiah, for each of them to have a very additional and luxurious living. And people got fury about this mindless approval of heartless approval of such huge allowances for already rich and powerful people, whereas the people who are on thriving on the land, or there without any riches, and they are even starving for their day-to-day life. So that was the whole the problem between the people and the government, and people started protesting, the students started protesting, and it got intensified over the recent past. Fuel to the fire, a person who was delivering food, because he could earn something if he delivers food every day to people of Jakarta, and he was just navigating through the riots to deliver food, and he was accidentally run over by the police vehicle, and he died in that accident. And that further added to the fury of the people who were going through tough times in their life and making lots of noises and riots. And one of the police officers was sacked due to this kind of a thing, and the inquiry is still going on. But then where this will lead to is the kind of a question that people will always have. This kind of a riot will go through only when the topmost the person of the country who is morally answerable, the president of the Indonesian country, who is by name Prabowo Subianto is the name of the Indonesian president. If at all he reconciles, he he has to just empathize with people. He should not add a fury to people's mind by making the army or police to go through a lathi charge with people, which will further aggravate the situation. He has to sack a few people from the House of Representatives who are instrumental in creating this kind of a riot among the crowd. He should always he should also go through a lot of reformatory measures in terms of financial reformation, in terms of career, in terms of stabilizing the life once again in Indonesia and Jakarta. So all these kinds of things, if at all the leader does, then there will be revival of situation. And astrologically seeing, definitely the leader of the country will do those things, and he will bring that situation back to normalcy. And when you look at the situation today, the finance minister got resigned from his portfolio, and who was also was expected to be out of the system, and that happened today. The riots in Indonesia, it's kind of just a beginning. You will see through these kinds of riots between the people and the government, or the students and people going against the government, all over Southeast Asia, and that's gonna happen very sooner. So we will be talking a lot about that as well. So keep watching this space, and we'll be talking about more interesting astrological phenomena and mundane predictions. Thank you really so much. Namaste.